Hey everybody, welcome to a new video. Today I'll show you step by step how to build this beautiful turtle. It's a relatively simple build and I think it's really easy, will be easy for even beginners. So all the parts for this build you'll find in the description below. All of the parts actually from AliExpress, so you can order it from anywhere and the price is really good. So let's start. We have here an H36 movement. I choose the black one. 3.8 o'clock crown position. You can check it by looking at your case. You can see that the stem of the crown almost 4 o'clock, but not there yet, so it means 3.8. Then here we got this beautiful Seiko dial. It's not OM dial, it's aftermarket, again from AliExpress. But the quality, as you can see, just look at the details, the quality is decent. Now this dial has only one pair of feet. Usually they put more, they put even 3 pairs. But I didn't test it yet. Let's see if it actually suits 3.8 o'clock. Would be wonderful. No, unfortunately those are for 3 o'clock. But it's not a big problem actually. What we're gonna do is just cut these feet by using, in my case, I'll be using nail clippers. You can use whatever you want, whatever you feel comfortable to work with. But as you can see, it does very clean cut, very fast and very easy. So one more. And I also like to sand off the remaining. As you see, there is still something left on the dial, so I use this stuff and just sand it off gently. There you go. Now it looks really clean and beautiful. So just make sure there is no metal dust after you sand it, if you do the same way I do right now. I use some piece of Rotico just to double check. Now yeah, when I say that this mod is for beginners, it still, I think, falls in that category, but you see you have to apply dial dots in this case, so a little bit more difficult and requires a little bit more time. These dial dots I also will leave the link in the description. So there you go. I usually put only 4 pieces. Make sure that it doesn't come on their date wheel, so be careful, don't put it too close. Again, double check. Make sure there is no dust, nothing on the top. And now we can use our dial. So 3.8, it should be Wednesday 21. There you go. Then what I like to do, I like to squeeze a little bit harder on the points where I put dial dots, so I know that the dial will stay here secure and not moving anywhere. Then check the alignment of the date and day wheels. In my case it looks good already, I don't need to correct anything. By the way, I want to show you another magic tool I use to build my watches. This is called lens pen. Basically the thing that you clean in your camera lens, but it works perfectly on the dials and hands. For example, sometimes the indices on the dial can be with some fingerprints or just dirty, whatever they put there. But you can clean by this super easily. It just make it really shiny, really beautiful right away. So I'll leave the link for this tool as well. There are many brands, many expensive brands, but this one is very cheap and it does what it's supposed to do. So I think don't need to pay more money for this stuff. Now before putting the hands, go to second position and change the time very slowly, midnight click. That's where our hand is supposed to sit. These are shiny hands, so make sure you clean it before installing as well, it's easier. And about the tools, I like to use the tweezers with the plastic tip, so it feels more comfortable than brass, for example. Like this one, it's much thinner, you can do some more accurate things with it, but for me, plastic one for assembling hands feels the best. Then use the right hand pusher. And this dowel is pretty thick, not the standard one, I think. Look, the hand is very close to the surface, closer than usually, and I didn't over push it. It still sits perfectly on the stem. Yeah, so I think this dowel is thicker than usually. But as you can see, it doesn't touch the markers, the indices, so we are good to go. Use a pusher with another diameter for the minute hand. That's important. Yep, and I think I overdo it a little bit. You can see it sits deeper than it's supposed to, but we still have clearance between the hands, so we are still good to go. I am lucky and unlucky at the same time, because you can see we still have space between the hands and the minute hand sits perfectly flat, so it doesn't interfere with the hour hand in any position. Yeah, so if you build your watch, you still can do this way. Don't need to remove the hands and do it again, because you know, if the hand goes deep like this easily and you're gonna remove it and try one more time, there is higher chance that you're gonna do even worse. So if it doesn't touch each other, if they don't touch each other, then just leave it as it is, because it's not gonna affect the movement anyway. You're not gonna see it in the watch case anyway, so I think this is not a problem at all, as long as they do not touch each other. And now we have a beautiful second hand with the turtle. For the turtle case, that's the way I like to set the second hand, as you see right now. One hand holding, another hand pushing at the same time. And that's what makes it easy, because one hand pushing at the same time when you hold, not the same as the minute and hour hands. Check the alignment, perfectly horizontal line. Let's check from another position as well to make sure. From here I can see that it looks good already. In my experience, if I see that this looks already perfect even from one position, I'm pretty sure that it will be perfectly aligned from any other point as well. Okay, the most difficult part is done. Now let's clean the dial one more time and put it in the case. Now the case. This case looks very good, and when I received it I had some dust underneath the glass, so I clean it by using this stuff I showed you earlier and the blower. So now it's completely clean and we can put it in the case. Make sure first that the movement aligned with the crown perfectly, because we are using dial dots. So once you press the movement hard and then you're gonna move it around, there is a chance that you're gonna shift the dial from its position. So it's better to make sure it's aligned perfectly first. So I'll unscrew the crown so I can see it better. Make sure it's aligned perfectly, and only then I'll push the movement. And as you see, evenly from both sides, not from one side, because you know you can just press too hard and flip the movement. You definitely don't want it. Align perfectly. Now I think it sits pretty tight, so we can flip it over. Check if there is some dust, because sometimes can happen. Check it carefully. There, so now it's clean, everything looks perfect. So the next step will be actually cutting the crown stem, the watch stem. In the moment you receive, you will have it here. And if you want to do some mod with this case, then you can just follow my steps and I will tell you exactly how much you need to cut. So I've got some experience already and I kind of know that without the measurement that this is about 16 millimeters. And again, I cut it without measurements, and you know, this time it's 16 millimeters. I'm really impressed by myself. Fingers crossed, take two. Yep, and I think this one is a perfect length. So 16 millimeters, you can see I can win the watch. If I push a bit, I can screw it down fully. Yeah, so if you're gonna mod with this case, remember it's 16 millimeters. Perfect. Now the next step I cannot show you, but I will be adjusting the movement. Usually they come from AliExpress already really well adjusted, plus 3-5 seconds even. Yeah, some movement even 0 seconds a day. Very good adjustments. But in some cases you have to adjust it manually, and basically how you do it, you can see here plus and minus. This one, I don't know how to call this part, unfortunately I didn't prepare. This one regulate the beat error, and this one regulate the accuracy, the seconds. So basically, you check if you're using some app, as I do. You check if the beat error is 0 or about 0.2. Then it's good already. You don't need to adjust it. Then just focus on the seconds per day. But if you have something like +2 or -2 bit rate, then you have to regulate this one first. So if you look at from this side, if you have a bit error about 2 +2, then you have to make it less. You have to push it down. If you have bit error -2 or -5, you have to make it more. You have to push it to the plus, so you push it up. The same goes with the seconds hand. So basically every time you push a little bit, then you check again, push a little bit, check again, because it's very delicate, and it's sometimes not easy to regulate. Sometimes you can get lucky and you do +0 seconds a day instantly. Sometimes I struggle 10-15 minutes, cannot do it. So it really depends on, I don't know what, your skill, probably, and your luck. So you can see the screenshot, this one was unregulated, that's how it came. And the second one, when I regulated and made +2 seconds a day, which is very good result. And yeah, I know it's not super accurate, using that app is not 100% accurate, but it's very close to the true number. And if you manage to make +2 seconds, and in reality it's +3 or +4, that's still great result. So I don't really care about such small thing. Next, we're gonna apply silicone grease on the gasket, because we're gonna close the case. I use this China silicone grease. If somebody wants the link for this one, I'm gonna leave for you as well, because I used to post it already in some other videos. And for this job, I recommend you using different tweezers. Like this one is metal tweezers. I use it only for some oily parts like this one. Sometimes the gasket is too short for some reason. Too short. You can just stretch it out. Don't need to change it. Still good. Make sure it's extra clean. The case back too. The bezel insert, by the way, we're gonna use this blue aluminum bezel insert. and I think it matches the dial and overall style perfectly. I love the look. Yep, so first, again, you see we're using the same tweezers we use for the gasket because we have some glue here. Removing this tape. Then move a bit bezel, try to find the best position with the least backplay. That's how you center it. And now simply glue it on. I'll do it outside camera because I don't want to mess up now. If you mess up, it's really complicated to redo it, so please do not mess up this part. There you go, it looks pretty good. And the bezel action on this case actually pretty good. The bezel itself is nice and clicking is nice. There is little bit backplay, if you can call it backplay, I guess so, little bit, but the bezel itself is not loose. It's pretty good. Yeah, and if you like parts without Seiko logo anywhere, so that's for you. Because I tried different cases with the Seiko logo and the case back, and you know, this one looks better quality, even though they don't put here any logos. Okay, and the final part, just putting on the strap, which comes with this case. That's why at the beginning of the video I said that this mode is suitable for beginners, because you get here the chapter ring you need already installed. You need to pop out the glass, you get the bezel insert, you can choose from many options there. So yeah, I think it's really a bit weird strap. This is supposed to be outside. I thought it goes inside, but okay. So it's easy to choose such parts where you don't need to change much. Yeah, for your own convenience, that's the way to go first. And now I'm gonna show you some nicer videos from outside with a natural light. There you go, it's very sunny right now, but you can see the real colors turn out to be very beautiful. What do you think? And by the way, one disappointing part, that the lume on this dial is almost non-existent, so don't expect too much, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I didn't check before ordering this dial. But it's looking very, very good. I'm gonna show you how it looks like on my wrist as well. I think it looks lovely. The rubber strap feels much more comfortable than I expected. It's really, really nice. Yeah, and a reminder, my wrist is 17 centimeters, so this, I guess, 42 millimeters case sits perfectly. Judge by yourself. Really, really nice. Beautiful. Thanks for watching. If you want to build this watch yourself, I left for you all the links in the description. If you want to support my channel and you don't want to waste your time for building the watch, you can just order this and other many models from my website, mod4thai.com. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video.